Good morning and welcome to Gardening with the Garden Guru, Christie Rasure, presented by Shores Bumper to Bumper and those great Fertilome yard and garden products. Wow, what a bright Saturday morning it is for the tri-state area. And with us from Shores Bumper to Bumper, downtown Goodland on Main, Christie Rasure. Good morning, Christie.
Good morning, Curtis.
Wow, what a gorgeous day it's been, and that rain last week was just absolutely the most beautiful April showers we've had.
It was. They talk about $1 million rain. We love that.
Oh my, and I think there might be more on the way from Monday night all the way through Thursday night. There are chances of rain and thunderstorms.
I don't think anybody's going to complain right now.
No.
Everybody's so anxious to see some more come down, and we really do need it. So, and it washed off all that dirt that's been blowing around.
Well, that's part of the ball game, and that's what we get, and it's just going to be super quick update. Sunny today and 60, clear tonight, mid-30s, but north winds at 25, and then tomorrow, Easter, sunny and 72, and then let's see, the chance of rain showers starts, a slight chance on Monday night through Thursday night. So, all right, we'll see what goes.
That's right. Well, do you remember last Saturday what I said? Remember, it's March 31st, that we are not done with the cold temperatures yet.
Well, that's so true.
It was so true. I mean, and so that's why I didn't want everybody to uncover all those plants and get everything exposed, because I knew that, we still had those cold temperatures coming, and so we don't want to shock all those plants. And so, but I will have to say the trees and the flowers that have been blooming are beautiful. They have just been gorgeous.
Well, I think the crops look nice. I saw the wheat fields, and boy, they look so nice and healthy, blowing in the wind the other day.
Yeah, I would say they're just a little tall and a little mature for this time of year. That's the only scary thing.
Yeah. Well, temperatures will drop into the low to mid-30s shortly before sunrise Easter morning, and there could be patchy frost in low-lying areas. That's the forecast. And then again, maybe, let's see, Sunday through Tuesday, Yuma and Dundee counties, you might see some frost around Monday morning.
That's what I know. That's why everybody's a little nervous about that, because, it's still a little early. Still that time of year where we sit in wonder, are we going to get froze tonight or not?
Yeah.
And so it's just too early to be putting stuff out or to be uncovering a whole bunch of this, taking a whole lot of that mulch off of our plants.
Sure. Well, we're only the first Sunday in April.
That's right. Exactly. So, and our last frost date is somewhere around the 10th to the 15th, kind of depends on where you're at, of May. And so we've got another 6 weeks, that we have to worry about.
Oh, man.
So, I wouldn't be uncovering a whole lot yet.
No, good point. Well, nice to have you with us. And for our listeners, this is Gardening with the Garden Guru with Christie Rasure, your garden guru. And it is presented every Saturday from 8:30 to 9 by Shores Bumper to Bumper and the Fertilome yard and garden products. Boy, and by the way, they're located on Main Street, just north of 17th, north of the Cowboy Corner Express, and just on the east side of the road there from Crazy R's. So pretty easy to find. And boy, do they have the yard and garden products, Christie.
They do. And I was going to say, they have the staff to tell you what is the right product for this particular area that you're working on, particular project you're working on. And so come on down and they can help you with that. Right now, it's the best time to be putting pre-emergent on, and that is something that we are recommending to everybody. You know how I say not necessarily put fertilizer on yet. You put fertilizer on, then all you have to do is mow. And so Fertilome has made up a product that has the pre-emergent that does not have fertilizer. I really like that because even though it takes me one extra step, because later on I will go and put fertilizer on. And I'm going to wait until around Mother's Day to do that. But I put my pre-emergent on a couple weeks ago.
Oh.
And that way I'm taking care of my weed problem, my crabgrass problem, but I didn't fertilize. My lawn looks good. I don't have to worry about that. It's nice and green and lush anyway, but I didn't have to worry about fertilizing it and then getting it froze back, because that nitrogen, that fertilizer, all it does is makes that grow and grow and grow. And the bad thing is with our temperature variations and the cold temperatures coming, that we have different times right now. That's the thing that we don't want. We don't want to have it froze back and stunt that growth. And so that's why I don't put fertilizer on right now. And so I went and just put the turf and ornamental weed. It's called Turf and Ornamental Weed and Grass Stopper. It contains Dimension, which is a great product to put on to keep that crabgrass and those weeds from coming up in our lawns. And I also use this in some of my other areas of my yards too, like in my gardens around my onions and that kind of stuff.
Oh.
And so it's a great product, controls a lot of the weeds that we don't want around. And so put that on, you don't have to worry about it.
And what's the name of it again?
It's called Turf and Ornamental Weed and Grass Stopper.
Stopper, okay. But it doesn't have the fertilizer.
It does not have the fertilizer in, so you don't have to worry about that mowing constantly and actually stunting the growth of your grass if it does get froze.
Yeah, well, grass and weeds are growing like crazy.
They are. So we want to make sure that we put a halt to that problem. So.
Wow.
Okay, I have the owner here, Keith Braceland's here, and he has gotten in a number of different mowers and small engines that he wants to talk about, so I'm going to put him on the radio.
Oh, good. Keith Braceland's with us today, special guest on the program. Keith?
Good morning, Duncan.
Hi, good morning. How are you?
Oh, I'm fine.
Well, great.
I'm fine. Like a nice windy day ahead of us, though.
Well, yes, but that's all right. That's the way it goes in April. April showers and a little breeze now and then. And, boy, we're getting the breeze.
Yeah, we sure are. Well, Duncan, we've got in some, I know there have been some people around looking for some of these little, well, kind of like the Manus tiller, the little tillers, lightweight things everybody can use. We got in some of those in the Troy-built line this week, finally. And one thing about them that a lot of people doesn't have, these are four-cycler where you don't have to mix the oil and gas together. And I got in some lawn edgers, Briggs & Stratton motors on them, which we service. And lawn mowers of about every kind. We got Simplicity in and Troy-built lawn mowers in, and rear-wheel drive, front-wheel drives, big rear wheels, and just a little bit of everything. And lawn pluggers, and then we've got the Simplicity line of the bigger mowers. However, the weeds aren't growing that much yet where you really need those. But anyhow, we've got quite a line of lawnmowers and stuff finally set up down here. Running out of room, so I need to sell some.
Well, okay, good. Well, this should be a good day to do that, Keith.
Yeah.
Well, you do have some great mowers, and those Simplicity and Troy built their quality all the way through, and they're going to get a good deal when they come see you, too.
Yeah, the price on those things is, especially the Troy built, for what they are, is pretty reasonable. And, of course, like I said, Simplicities is probably the top of the line stuff. So anyway, like I said, we've got things going pretty good and humming right along down here. So I'll turn her back over to Christie and let you talk to her, and I better get to work.
All right. Well, sell those mowers there, Keith.
Okay, Duncan. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Bye.
Bye-bye. Keith Braceland with us at the Shores Bumper to Bumper downtown. My goodness, they've been open since 5 this morning. Christy, that's great for folks that need, certainly they have auto parts too and all this, but to be out gardening as the sun will be up earlier every day.
That's right. I was only saying it's a great to make your list and check it twice and see which garden products you need. Come in early, get it done, and then you can play the rest of the day.
Yeah. Now, Keith was talking about those mowers, and I've driven one of these Simplicity riding mowers where it just has the two handles. You push forward to go forward and work on it. Boy, I'll tell you, those are just a dream to drive, and if you have pretty good acreage, golly, you buy #1 rated mower, Simplicity, and you don't have to buy another one.
That's right. As I'm saying, it's one of those that it's going to last for a good while. You take good care of it, and it's one that you will have for quite a while.
Yeah, I have a great self-propelled mower, and man, it's a Simplicity, and boy, it is so nice to mow the yard. I don't have a big yard, but it sure makes it easy to mow.
I was saying, it cuts the time that you're working probably in half, doesn't it?
Oh my, yeah, and I'm not tired. I think, I could mow this again, but I don't. But it's gonna need it before long.
What's nice is they're a heavy-duty mower too, and so they are going to last. They are going to hold up, and you're not going to be rattled because of their self-propelled. Sometimes you feel like you're being rattled.
Yeah.
And this one's not that way.
Yeah, real quick, there's a model or two of Simplicity, I believe it is, or one of those mowers that you, when you're done and you want to clean it out, all you do is hook the garden hose up to it, start your mower, turn the hose on, and it cleans itself.
That's right.
Wow.
And that way you're taking care of that mower at all times, and that is what's so nice. Is you are taking care of that item that you've got, and so it'll last longer.
It does. It does. Well, they've got great mowers and tillers, and you said the rototillers. Troy built the 4 cycles, the lawn edgers. And we're going to need all that.
That's right. Exactly. Well, and I was going to say, at this time of year, we're trying to clean up, we're trying to pick up, we're trying to get everything ready, and that is what we need to be doing. And so you need those rototillers, lawn mowers, edgers, and get everything done, and then you can actually enjoy your yard throughout the year. And that's what we're trying to do. Plus, as you were talking about cleaning out that lawnmower at the underneath it, every time you mow, you really should. And that way you decrease the chances of fungus growing constantly, because a lot of the fungus that we have is airborne. And if you let that, say, like you mowed today, you go and put it in a warm garage, that mower in a warm garage, what that does is a fungus will start growing underneath that mower, and then the next time you mow, if there's any chance of moisture or anything, you're spreading that fungus throughout your lawn.
Oh.
And you don't even realize it.
I never thought about that.
So if you go and keep that cleaned out, and actually all your tools, you should, like you get done with your rototiller, you should actually wash it off and get it cleaned up before you put it away.
Good idea. Well, folks are calling in already.
That's right, exactly.
Well, that's what happens when you have a good, busy business there. So clean it up and be in good shape then, just like you would your dishes when you're done cooking.
Right, exactly, because it's a major tool that you've got. I do this always with all my tools that I have. I keep them all cleaned up. Well, I say I try to keep them all cleaned up. Some days they don't get as clean as I need them to be. But you want to make them keep them good and sharp. You want to make them keep them clean. And then a lot of your tools, like your shovels and hose and all, you should keep oiled. So if you'll keep a bucket with some used car oil in there and sand, and then all you have to do is take your shovel and poke it in that bucket of sand every once in a while. You got them oiled, and you're saving your tools that way.
Is there a solution for like hand tools you use?
I do the same thing. I just use the same bucket. And so, and just...
Then you don't use Clorox or anything to kill germs or anything?
See, when I work out in my yard, whether it's my yard or somebody else's yard, what I do is I always keep a bucket of Clorox water, and it's like 1 part Clorox to 10 parts water.
Okay.
And I do that, but it's because I'm working, say, in somebody else's yard, and I don't want to transfer. And even when in my yard, a lot of times I will do that, just for cleanliness and in case there is a disease. Especially if I'm in my roses, I don't want to transfer disease from one rose to another. But a lot of people don't do that. It's option. That's something I do, just because of the way I do things.
Well, that's okay.
Yeah.
To each his or her own.
That's right. Exactly.
I think that's a good way to do it. Christie, we need to take just a very quick break here on our Gardening with the Garden Guru, Christie Rasure, presented by Shores, bumper to bumper, and those great Fertilome yard and garden products. Where can you buy 10 styles of rain gauges, complete underground sprinkler parts and accessories, or a full line of Fertilome lawn and garden products, plus Simplicity and Troy-built mowers and tillers? Shores, bumper to bumper in Goodland. Greg and the staff have your gardening and yard products to go. Ask about the new greenhouse garden kits. Jumpstart your seeds. Shores, downtown Goodland, open Monday through Saturday at 5 a.m.
Like no store you've seen before, you're sure to find it at Shores.
Indeed, you are sure to find it at Shores. Christie Rasure is with us on this Saturday morning, and we're about halfway through this program. Time goes fast when you talk about mowers and keeping everything clean and in good shape, doesn't it, Christie?
Yeah, I was working with a customer right now.
Oh, good.
So, yeah, we were talking about the turf and ornamental weed and grass stopper. He was wanting to make sure that his grass, crabgrass and spurge coming up later, to keep that gone. Like I said, I don't need the fertilizer, so I was telling him about a product. So that's what I was doing just right there.
This is a multi-purpose show. You're on, even on your break, you're busy.
Well, and I was going to say, that tells you I am live down at the store.
You are?
I am. I try to be down here as often as I can on Saturday morning. We do it live, so that way we can talk with the customer. And then once I leave here, then I will go to my store and be open at my store.
Now, you have some plants you're working and growing there at Designs Unlimited, your store downtown.
I am. In fact, tomatoes are looking good. And I'm using the system that Shores has. So it's the grow light system, and I'm not growing mine hydroponics, but it is really cool. And so anybody wants to come down and see all of our tomatoes and peppers, basil, parsley. Seems like there's something else I've got growing. But anyway, those are what I've got growing right now. It's not too late to be growing plants inside to transplant out. They've got all the setup for you, from the lights to the heat mats to the cell packs. So, and they also have the seeds. So you can come down here, get everything you need, and then start growing.
Get growing.
That's right. And get those hands dirty.
That's right.
Yeah. So it'd be a great time. It's not too late to do some tomatoes. We've got about one more week. You could actually plant tomatoes and then plant them from seed inside, and then be able to plant them outside.
Okay, so this could be about the last week then.
Yeah, for tomatoes. Cucumber, squash, let's see, what else? Those, any of those kind of melons, watermelon, cantaloupes, any of those pumpkins, now would be a great time to be starting those, and then they should be about the right size to be planting out in May.
Mm-hmm. Now, the tomato barrels, that system that Greg has, you could grow those year-round.
Yes, you can.
Indoors.
Uh-huh. In fact, that's what I'm planning on doing, is having one of those. I have a tomato barrel down the store, and I'm planning on setting one up so people can watch it grow.
Yeah, and then come in and take a tomato when you're done.
That's what we're hoping. Exactly.
Well, there's so much Greg has new this year at Shores Bumper to Bumper, downtown Goodland on Main Street. It's just amazing. And he listens to the customers. They say, well, can you get this? Or how about this? Or how about that? Greg listens.
That's right. In fact, he had a customer who was looking for inoculants for beans and peas. And that helps to get those seeds to come up quicker, faster, and actually for them to come up. Because sometimes with those kind of seeds, they don't want to break through. And so he went and brought in inoculants, and so he's got plenty of those packets to sell, and that's something sometimes hard to find. And so he does have that here. Another thing that he mentioned to me to talk to you guys about is Greg and I are both on Facebook, and Shores Bumper to Bumper is on Facebook, and I am also. And so that way you can see what we are talking about each week. He talks about different things, either that we've talked about on the radio or something new that's coming into the store. And so that way you can see what's going on and keep up with what's going on. And so check us out on Facebook, or also, as we've always talked about, you have a problem and you're looking for the right chemical or the right fertilizer for the particular area you've got, you can go onto Fertilome's website, and that is www.fertilome.com.
Oh, I like that. Good deal. You've got so much going on. Shores helping everybody in just about all walks of life there.
That's right, exactly. And the other thing is, I know we have not mentioned because they were kind of overrun for a while, but Greg told me I can do this now. If you need to have your mower serviced or rototill or any of the Briggs & Briggs and Stratton mowers, any of the motors, any of that needs to be serviced, taken care of, bring it on down, and they will take care of it for you.
Yeah, and I think they're the only authorized sales or representative to get those mowers to take care of the warranty, the motors, Briggs and Stratton. So factory authorized, that means a lot, because if you get it done by somebody else that isn't, it voids your warranty.
Right, exactly. And so this would be a great place to bring it, and the shop area is looking a lot better, and he said he could take a few more things again.
Well, it's good to be busy.
Oh, they were, and so that's why I hadn't said anything for a while.
It's called a busyness.
Yes, that's right. So that's something that, bring your stuff in. If you have not had it serviced, that's another thing. Make sure you keep it serviced so that it keeps on running right and it lasts that way.
Yeah, that's where my mower went last spring or last fall when I was done with the last time. And I said, Greg, can you take care of this? Well, sure. So it's ready for me whenever I decide to get going with it.
That's good, yeah. Another thing that I wanted to bring up today is that now would be a great time as we are working those yards, as we are working around our flower beds, our plants, as we are getting the gardens ready. We want to be thinking about preparing that soil right. And because of our clay soil and how it gets a little compacted, there's a product that we have down here called Revive. And I've talked about it before, and what it is an organic soil treatment. It's for your lawns or your gardens, and it makes your fertilizers work better. It also makes your water wetter, and it makes your water penetrate. A lot of times with our soil types that we have here, the water will just stay on top, and it cannot penetrate deep. And what this product does is it actually makes that ground open up, and it reduces the water requirements as far as, we don't have to water as much because that water is actually penetrating deeper. Whenever you have a brown spot in your lawn, that is because of, again, water's not working well, it's not going deep, or your chemicals are not able to work well. This makes your chemicals work well, too. So this product is called Revive, and it just makes your yard look good. And it's kind of like giving your vitamins to yourself, but it's vitamins to your yard. And it's great to be using now before you start planting or before we get into the heat of the year.
Good idea, so they can get that going now and not have any trouble.
That's right.
Well, sunny and breezy today with a high of 60, north winds at 25. Is it granular, or do you have to spray it on?
The product I have right in front of me, there is a granule, but this is a spray. So if it's going to be really windy, I'd probably wait a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
But it's something, on the next warm day that you're going to be working outside, come down, just get one of these bottles and do it then.
You were talking about granular, and you can use a lawn spreader on that. That's another tool you need to keep clean.
Oh, exactly. Every time you use that fertilizer spreader, you need to take it, clean it out. I always wash mine out, make sure it's good and clean, because a lot of those fertilizers have iron in them, and what it can do is, if it sits there, it'll actually rust those parts, and so you don't want to do that. So make sure that you get everything washed up well every time you use that. Make sure it's dry before you put it away.
Good idea. Well, we have about 5 minutes left. What else can you focus on?
Well, I've seen a lot of those little yellow weeds hanging around.
Ugh.
And, they are pretty. At this time of year, anything pretty and bright is nice. But, they kind of are a nuisance, too. So we have a product called Weed Out. And Fertilome is known for their Weed Out product. And it's a lawn weed killer. It does have Trimec in it. And they have ready-to-use or concentrate. And, if you've just got a small yard, you've got 3 or 4 hanging around, or, every day you don't mind going out and shooting at these little things because they actually have a little trigger on them. You can actually just hand treat with the ready-to-use product, or, like I said, they do have the concentrate, which you could spray the whole yard. And You know, you've got a smaller yard, I know, Curtis.
Yeah.
A lot of people, and then there are lots of people that have acres, so, you know, it takes a little longer.
Yeah, well, I used my weed ball last week, and I'll tell you, by the time I got back about 4:30, after using it around noon, I could tell it was those dandelions were not so dandy anymore.
I bet not, and I bet they've disappeared now, haven't they?
They're like dead lions.
Yeah, well, that's what we want to see is dead lions, for sure. So this is a great product. You know, everybody knows how I like the weed-free zone, but if you just have a few in your yard, the Weed Out is a great product to use. And what it does, it starts from the very top and takes all the way down to the very bottom of that root. And they actually do go down to China.
I love it. I love
it. And so this is a product that's great to use, especially if you just have a small area.
Mm-hmm. Well, folks can, and the different bags of grass seed or fertilizer later on, the Shores staff will take it out, put it in your car, your trunk, or your pickup truck. They'll help you there.
That's right. Another thing that I also wanted to say is if you are thinking about reseeding an area, do not use a pre-emergent in that area because it takes like 3 months for that to wear off before you can actually plant. So remember that. Plan ahead. If you have to mark off an area, whatever you do not put a pre-emergent on if you're going to reseed because you cannot do both at the same time.
Is it early to throw some grass seed out there?
Right now would be a great time because it's nice and cool, and grass seed likes to come up when it's cool.
Oh.
So no, now would be a great time. Just remember, no pre-emergent.
Okay. All right, well, if they have any questions, they can always call you. You get questions on the street and at your shop there at Designs Unlimited, too.
I do, and actually, like I said, on Facebook also. In fact, someone asked me a question again last night. I get emails, and so it's nice, and I don't mind answering those at all. People call, and you can either contact us down here at Shores or contact me at my store, which is Designs Unlimited, and we answer the questions all the time for you. We're happy to do so.
Well, it's outstanding. Shores, we have a couple of minutes left. They have yard and garden hoses and all the ergonomic tools and the regular old-fashioned tools.
They do, and I was going to say, you always want to make sure you have the right tool for the right project, and they do. They have all the different types of shovels and hose. They have what we call the potato fork. They have the hula hoe, which a lot of people have to come down and see what a hula hoe is. Different types of hose, of course. They have leaf rakes, the regular type rakes. They have different types of tree saws. They have all the hand tools. Come down, get the right tool for the right project. Try out these tools. That is the nice thing about coming down here. You can actually try them and fit them onto you, and that's exactly what you need to do on a lot of your tools. People don't realize that, but you need to make sure that tool will be the right size for you. Otherwise, you could actually get hurt.
Well,
and
yeah.
We don't want that.
Yeah, safety in the garden, even if you're doing something simple, can turn into a problem.
Right. Make sure that handle is long enough or short enough, depending on what size you are, to fit your body type.
And if you need help in hauling or moving things around your yard or garden, those great sturdy garden carts are really super.
That's right. I was going to say, I'm just standing by one right now. They're very nice. They actually have the tailgates that open up. They have the sides that fold down if you need that to happen, or keep them up, and it hauls a lot of debris. It hauls a lot of fertilizer. I know that. Peat moss, your plants later on. They're great.
And even put a little lunch bucket on there, and you won't have to go in for lunch.
That's right.
Now, that's a heavy garden schedule, I think, when you don't have to go into lunch.
I was going to say, I bet anything, you could even probably put a pop can holder on there somehow, and that way you'd have your drink right with you at all